Welcome to the Sam and Joe VA Show, where we teach women just like you how to start and scale a thriving virtual assistant business.
We're your hosts, Sam and Joe, and get ready to have the control, flexibility, and freedom you've always dreamed of.
Welcome to episode 85. Send the damn invoice.
I have a feeling we might get a bit ranty in this one, Joe.
I just threw my piece of paper down then.
Damn it, just send it. Send the invoice. Oh my goodness. This is something that we feel so incredibly passionate about. And every time we hear or see a virtual assistant either not invoicing at all or giving discounts for no apparent reason, it's heartbreaking. And it's a lot of red flags.
I was going to use the same word. It absolutely breaks my heart. I think because we see virtual assistants working so hard and putting so much time and effort into things, and then for us to know that they didn't get paid for that or they don't value themselves is really heartbreaking.
It is, because if you take anything at all away from this podcast episode, it's that if you don't value your own time, your clients never will. You're training your clients to undervalue you and to treat you poorly and to not expect to be paid for the services that you're providing.
Yeah, let's just cover that again. You are training your clients to undervalue you. Unfortunately, this is your fault, but fortunately, you can make the change that you need to make. You are in control. Because we like to blame the clients for not valuing us, but it comes from us first. We need to teach them that we are valued, we do valuable work, and we value ourselves.
Yeah. And probably there might be virtual assistants listening to this and go, well, I invoice all my clients. Do you invoice on the same day every month? Have you given them, a time in which that they have to pay that invoice? Are you then sending automated reminders? Hey, you haven't paid me. Like, this is, money blocks, Joe.
Yeah, money is such a taboo subject for most people. And you have to get past that. You are a business owner. You are in business. This is a business process that just needs to consistently be done. Now, do you know what happens when you don't consistently send the invoice? That is really frustrating for the client, because most people would run their business where they engage services, they have expenses during a certain month, they expect the service providers to send their invoice dated the end of the month and paid whatever payment date. Now, if you don't send your invoice with that end of month date, and likely you send it on the 1st, then next month you send your invoice dated the following month, and then you send another one at the end of that month. They've then got 2 months worth of your invoices in 1 month. Their profit looks crap that month, and it looks really good the month before. It's not giving them a realistic kind of view on how they're doing in business. Now, that's very annoying for a client. People actually want you to send the invoice that you have agreed to send.
Yeah. Do you know what else is really, really annoying from a client point of view? Having to then say, where's my invoice this month? The reason a client is outsourcing and has hired you is because they don't have the time. They have brought you on in order to save time, to make their lives easier. Them then having to reach out to you, whether that's over the phone or an email or whatever, that's just one more thing that they've added to their to-do list that day. They could be using that time elsewhere to actually make money.
Yeah. You know the other thing it does? It messes up their cash flow.
Yeah.
So they are expecting to have your invoice and to pay it this month, next month, the following month. Now, if you then combine all 3 months of that work into one invoice at the end of the 3 months, they've got to then try and come up with the money to pay that. That is going to be super frustrating. And we want to be showing our clients that we are reliable, we are consistent, we know how to run our businesses because they've hired you sometimes to do things that need and require consistency, reliability, and actually all the time. I'm going to retract that. All the time. That is what they are hiring you to be and do. So give that to them. You've got to remove that money block, that weirdness that you have around sending invoices, and you've got to get consistent. You have to be sending them on the same day every month. Your client is expecting them.
I think this is a really good episode to also touch on when you are doing work for someone that's close to you, whether it's friends or a family member, and you don't feel as though you should charge them for your time.
Please don't ever agree to start work for someone that is close to you or a friend or a family member without talking about how much it is going to cost them.
Yeah.
You just have to do it. Treat them like any other client by having that conversation right up front with them before you agree to do anything.
Yeah.
I know it's hard, but you've got to do it because it's way harder to have the conversation after you've done the work. That is way more awkward.
Yeah, and that's when those conversations just never happen because you just go, you know what, I'm just not even going to go there. It's just easier for all of us, and it's going to be much more comfortable on Christmas Day or that party next week if I just give away however many hours of that month I've just worked on for free. Once again, if you're not valuing your time, no one else will. And then that friend or family member is probably, not always, but it's probably likely to always expect you to help them for free from that point on. You've got to start as you need to go on.
Yep. You've just set that expectation, right?
Mm.
We know that there are a multitude of reasons why you feel bad sending an invoice. It might be that you feel like you didn't deliver enough value. You might have this fear around what if they question the invoice. You might not feel like you've delivered something on time or how you want it to be, etc. There's all sorts of reasons why you're not charging everything. All of those kind of fears come into that, don't they?
They do. So how do you get past them? How do you get past all those fears? You know what you do? You just send the damn invoice.
You've got to remove the emotional part of this whole money side of business. You've got to put your business owner hat on and say, this is a business to business relationship. And I think also thinking about the kind of things that we talked about in the start, they expect it to be sent to them on the certain day of the month. It helps them with their cash flow. It's annoying if you don't. So if you kind of reframe it to like, oh, they're gonna have this reaction, it's gonna be bad, to actually they expect this invoice and I'm doing them a favor by being really consistent so that they can pay it and they can manage their business really well in their financials. So if you kind of reframe it to that, I think it will help you push the send button.
Yes, agreed.
Charge for everything. Have the conversations with them early on about things that might have come up or mistakes or things that you feel like you didn't offer enough value, etc. Have the conversations with them. Don't make it like, oh, I'm just not going to charge, so I'm just going to send, I'm just going to take that time off and push send and then just not say anything. Like that's not a good way to run your business.
No. Yeah, if you're worried about how people are going to judge you for sending an invoice, Yeah, I'd be more concerned about them judging you for not sending that invoice.
Yes, great point. So please, everyone who is listening, if you have invoices that you need to send right now, or if you need to set up some reoccurring invoices that are in advance for your fixed fees, your packages, so they go consistently on the same day every month, go and do that. It is very important that you do not train your client to undervalue and you meet the expectations of your client in terms of invoicing.
And actually, just one more thing to add. If your money blocks are through the roof, like the suggestions that we've put, they're still not going to work for you. Like you've got money blocks going back since you were in the blimmin' cot, say. Dramatic much? Yeah.
Yes.
If your money blocks are that bad, then the first thing, if you're not already, that you need to outsource is you need to get somebody to do the invoicing for you, because that then takes it off of your plate. You don't have to worry about it. You're not the perceived bad guy for charging out for your time.
Yeah, that was a great idea.
Thanks.
So everyone, you listening right now, send the damn invoice.
Please.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Sam and Joe VA Show. If you'd like to find out more, head to the VA Foundry website to check out the Members Club and the amazing resources, training and coaching.
You can find us at thevafoundry.com.